Good day, everyone. Welcome back to the Doc of Detox show. Today's show is called Juicing for Life Q&A. So I hope you're going to come in and call us at 855-900-4544, extension 7, with all your juicing questions, your fasting questions. Okay, because understand, I'm here today with Cherie Calbom, the juice lady. Cherie's a leading authority on juicing for health and detoxification. Cherie is known as the juice lady all over the world. She's a TV chef and a celebrity nutritionist. She has helped in pioneering the fresh juice movement around the world. Cherie is the author of 35 books, including the bestseller Juicing for Life, with over 2 million books sold. Not so bad. Cherie holds a Master of Science degree in Whole Foods Nutrition from Bastyr University, where she sat on the board of Regents for over 5 years and was honored with a Lifetime Achievement Award. She and her husband offer juice cleanse retreats throughout the year. Cherie has lectured worldwide on juicing, detoxifying, and fasting, including consulting for the royal family of the UAE. Today's show is a Q&A, so please call in with all your questions. Hi, Cherie. How you doing?
Hey, it's great to see you. It's good to be back talking with you about my favorite subject, which is juicing. Juicing, juice fasting, juice cleansing, juice detox, all of the above.
All of the above. Well,
Yeah.
that's I tell you, I love juicing. I have a quart of carrot juice in my container right now. I usually do about, no, anywhere from 30, maybe even 40 ounces of carrot juice a day. And I love it. I try to keep it simple. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that will do a lot of different concoctions, but I think carrot juice is a real power drink. What do you think, Cherie?
Carrot juice is excellent for you, rich in beta carotene. It's a wonderful, what makes your skin glow. That's probably why your skin has all the color it does. Some people, look so white, they have almost no color. Makes your eyes sparkle. And it's a great detoxifier. And it's part of a lot of cancer treatment programs as well. Like the Gerson program relies heavily on carrot juice as part of their program.
Yeah,
So
I think
I
it's
love to add it as part of my juices every day.
yeah, I think it's like they do about 8 glasses a day, don't they, and more?
Yeah, they alternate between a green drink and a carrot apple throughout the day. So, uh, yeah, from morning to evening to dinner, they have a juice every hour, and they have a lot of carrot juice as part of that. So it's been used though around the world in cancer treatment programs. There are people who believe that carrot juice helps to break down that protective coating that cancer cells develop around them so that the immune system can't get in and attack that cancer cell. And they believe that carrot juice helps to break that down.
Very
A good
good.
thing.
So,
Mhm.
right off the bat, we have Jennifer wrote in, and she's from Dallas, Texas, and she says, I don't have a lot of money. I would love to start juicing. So, what would be my best option for a juicer?
Well, I'm glad you asked that because there are a lot of people in that category. I get that question a lot. Um, not everybody has hundreds of dollars to spend on a juicer, but it's great to get started. So you can go to Amazon and get a very inexpensive but good juicer. The Hamilton Beach is a pretty decent juicer for the price varies on Amazon from time to time with specials, I understand, but somewhere 59 to $79 would be the range of that Hamilton Beach centrifugal juicer. So that's where I would start if you need to stay under $100. If you can go over around 200, then the Breville is a very good juicer, and it's also centrifugal. And from there, you kind of go up in price.
Great. So, Lucy says, I would love to start juicing, but it's been difficult trying to talk my children and my husband, but mainly my husband, into juicing, and he's turning my kids against it. How can I get them to embrace juicing?
Well, first of all, for kids, I found it's got to taste good, right? If it doesn't taste good, they'll say, forget it. I'm not having this stuff. So, you know what's a great base for kids is carrot apple. And to that, you can add some greens. If you don't get too much in there, then it won't overpower it. I did for a show one time an after daycare center with 40 little kids. Um, and started with that carrot apple base. And to that, I added some spinach and I added a leaf of chard or kale. It depended on which drink I was doing. And nobody wanted to try it until one brave little boy liked it. And then everybody wanted some. And then a lot of them wanted seconds. So get them excited about, wow, this is going to taste really yummy. And you can tuck in some greens and tell them, try this. And if the color is looking a little funky, not like completely orange, because I found color and kids are important. You can add a little bit of beet to that, turns it bright red. And then they go, oh, look at my pretty red juice. So if you get enough carrot, though, it should stay orange if you don't get too many greens in. Try that. If you can get them excited about it and excited about helping you juice, hopefully you've got the family won over. And then hopefully your husband will just come along too when the kids like it, right?
There you go. Okay, so Jim from Detroit, he's asking, can you please tell me why I should do celery juice? Everyone's doing it, and celery has become so expensive since this has become a fad.
Yes. Dr. Mercola called it the great celery juice movement, global movement. It's all over the world, it seems, and that has driven up the price of celery. I agree. It's like here, most of the stores, it's $2.49 a bunch for organic celery, and you always need to get organic celery. Let me throw that in. It's on the Dirty Dozen list. It's number 11. And so it's got a lot of pesticide on it if it's not organic. So get organic, but why should you do it? I'm doing celery juice. You should do it because I'm doing it. Every morning, it's said to do 16 ounces of organic celery juice on an empty stomach. First thing in the morning, nothing in it. Well, I'm getting reports from my own list, from my own group, of how life changing it is. I've heard reports of blood pressure going down, cholesterol going down. One lady's liver enzymes were elevated and they came down significantly in a short period of time. And this lady that reported to me, it's one particular story I'm thinking about. This was in 30 days, and that's the only thing she'd done differently was to add the celery juice. But it isn't just somebody's good idea and then everybody jumped on the bandwagon and the influencers and the Hollywood stars all got involved, and that seems to make things go kind of nuts on Instagram and things picked up. But there are a lot of studies on celery juice. So celery juice has been shown in studies, a lot of studies now, to have phytonutrients that fight cancer, that stop angiogenesis, that growth of blood vessels out to tumors, so that they starve. They don't get their food. And it has been shown to lower blood pressure, and it has been shown to lower blood sugar. So it's excellent for diabetics as well. I could go on and on, but I think you get the picture. There are a lot of studies and there's a lot of anecdotal stories as well. So give it a try.
Okay, so Cherie, where can people also get the Dirty Dozen? So where can they find out what is the Dirty Dozen? Can you tell us?
Yeah, I'm happy to. And I love talking about the Dirty Dozen. Go to EWG. That stands for Environmental Working Group.org. EWG.org. And they will have, if you Google in there, they have a lot of things there. But they will have Dirty Dozen list and the Clean 15. What that means is the Dirty Dozen is the most sprayed fruits and vegetables. And those are all the thin skinned things, such as celery and spinach and apples and cherries and grapes and plums and all of those thin skin things. I think bell peppers are on the list or close to that list. And you want to know what those are because they're the worst offenders. I found when I was writing my blog about celery juice and being sure that you get organic, there were about 42 different very toxic sprays, different ones that were sprayed on celery. And celery was number 11 as you went up the list. the number got higher. So they do a test every year. They're a nonprofit group, and they do a test on all our fruits and vegetables, and they give them scores. What gets the worst scores go on the dirty dozen list, and the best scores, the least sprayed, go on the clean 15. And then everything else is somewhere in the middle. And you can get an app, put it on your phone, take it shopping with you, and then you can just check out, is this on the dirty dozen list or close to it? And then you'll know if you really must buy organic for that particular fruit or vegetable.
Beautiful. So that means that if you're a fruit, you don't want to be thin skinned because of the chemicals. And if you're a human being, you don't want to be thin skinned because of emotions. How's that?
Hey, I love that. That's a good thing. Now you can remember the dirty dozen.
There you go. So
Hmm.
our next question that was sent in is from Debbie, and Debbie lives in Boston, and she wants to know how would she start. How would she start to do it? What's the best way to start to do a juice detox so that she doesn't detox too fast?
That is a really good question. And with juices, you pretty much don't have to worry about detoxing too fast unless you're doing juice fasting and you're just drinking only juices. And most people still don't detox too fast with doing that. But if you decide you want to do a juice fast, do a short one and see how you do. Like maybe do 1 or 2 days to get started, and then you can up it. Maybe you could go the next time you decide one, go 3-day juice fast and see how you do. If you start detoxing too fast and you feel like, oh, I'm getting a little headachy or I feel a little flu type symptom, those are toxins coming out. You can add a little protein powder, a little vegan protein powder to your juice. That can slow things down. But if you want to just start juicing more, adding that to your healthy diet, that can help you very slowly detox. And I've not heard of anybody getting symptoms with that.
Good. So yeah. So crawl before you run, and try to start juicing without doing just a juicing fast, so that you get your body kind of lubricated and kind of into the program. And because you know what, whenever you bring something new into your life, you're not just dealing with yourself on a physical level, you're dealing with the emotional level. A lot of people will back out of things and make up things, and it's not them, but it's their subconscious just fearing anything new. So it's better if you do gentle baby steps and start going in there. Take a look on my library at the perfect day on page 35, and then make sure that you get what would be the best book to get from you, Cherie, on juicing. Which book would I begin with?
Well, I have two recommendations. If you just want a lot of juice recipes, get the Big Book of Juices and Green Smoothies. I have 300 juice recipes and 100 green smoothie recipes. If you want to begin to address some issues with your health, get my Juice Lady's Guide to Juicing for Health. I have 50 different ailments from A to Z, a chapter on each one, and I have everything based on science that I could find. And then I have some traditional remedies in there. So when I did the juices and the nutrients and the juice recipes, I tried to find for each of those conditions, A to Z, what research showed about what nutrients help those conditions, and then look up the fruits and vegetables highest in those and create juice recipes. And then I've also got some traditional recipes that have just been handed down through the years for people. So look at the Juice Lady's Guide to Juicing for Health and the Juice Lady's Big Book of Juices and Green Smoothies. That'll help you get started.
And where am I going to go to get the books?
They're everywhere.
They're
Amazon,
everywhere. They're
Barnes
everywhere.
and Noble, and my site, Juice Lady Info, info.com. So I've got them all too.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, so let's get back to the juice detox. So if I wanted to start a juice detox and I just wanted to do juices, what would be the juice that you would tell me to do?
Well, I'm really hooked on celery juice these days, so I love starting the morning with 16 ounces of celery juice, and a great way to start your day. And then you can have another juice after that, like maybe wait a half hour to an hour and then do a nice combo. And this morning, I did cucumber, carrot, some greens, lemon. I had a little chunk of turmeric, fresh turmeric, I put in there, and a chunk of ginger. And it was really delicious. So you can change up your greens. You could do an all green juice. If you want to make your lunch a green juice, you could do something like cucumber or zucchini. Zucchini has a lot of juice as well. It's summer. Probably we're not seeing out of gardens those great big giant zucchinis that a lot of home gardeners get, but you can get zucchini, and that's a nice, very juicy vegetable that makes a great base. And to that, you could add lots of different greens, maybe some green apple along with kale or chard or collard greens or green lettuce. And I love to add a little bit of lemon to a lot of my juices because it just freshens everything up. I love to add ginger, not only for the spice, it's a nice addition to your juice, that spicy taste, but it's an anti-inflammatory, it's rich in zinc, it's wonderful for your immune system. It's just a great all-around addition to your juice. It helps prevent heart disease because it's an anti-inflammatory. And another wonderful thing to add is fresh turmeric if you can find it at one of your healthy type grocery stores. And then how about for mid-afternoon, you could have another little juice pick me up if you want. And you could go with more carrot apple maybe for lunch, something, or I mean mid afternoon, maybe a little carrot apple ginger. That's my ginger hopper juice recipe. And for dinner, you could go back to adding a lot of different vegetables. Last night I had some radish in there that I made for us, along with cucumber and lemon and some greens and ginger. So change it up, get some different flavors so you enjoy your juicing, and that is what a juice fast day could look like for you.
Great. Okay, so let's go across the water, so to speak. So Debbie from the UK says, what would be some of the signs and symptoms that would tell me that it's time to do an actual detox?
Hmm. Let me just, I'm going to give you some symptoms in just a second here, but let me just say, first of all, even if you had no signs or symptoms, it's good to do some kind of detox at least once a year, because our bodies are like our cars. We've got to change that oil and filter, whether it's running well or not. And usually, well, I know when we have our oil and filter changed, our car's running just fine, but it keeps us going. Keeps our car going, right? Well, our liver and our blood would be like that filter and that oil. We just really need to clean things up in this toxic world, especially that we live in. So, what are some signs? What are some symptoms that maybe you've got a little bit of a foggy brain? Things aren't just as coming as sharp as they used to. Maybe you're not sleeping quite as well. Maybe your energy level is a little bit lower. You just wish you had a bit more energy like you used to have. Um, Maybe you're catching more colds and flus than you used to. Maybe you want to, you know, bring your immune system up to par. Um, and maybe your cholesterol is a little high. That's liver. I often think about liver detox when somebody tells me their cholesterol is a little elevated. You know, cholesterol is made in your liver. As we cleanse our livers, oftentimes things improve for people. So there are a few things I could go on, but that gives you a good start. Oh, and there's one other thing. So many people that come to me for weight loss, maybe join one of my weight loss programs like Sipping Skinny, will say, I was going along just fine losing weight, my 1 or 2 pounds a week. And then boom, all of a sudden I just kind of hit a plateau and I'm not losing weight anymore, but I'm not eating any more food. That's when I say it's time to do a liver detox, because as you cleanse your liver, it's your fat burning organ, weight loss becomes easier.
And
Hope
which
that's
ones for the
helpful.
liver?
Pardon? And what do I do for the
And
liver?
which ones would you do for the liver specifically?
um, beet juice is known for liver cleanse. It's
Yeah.
the quintessential liver detox juice, but they're all helpful. Carrot juice is very helpful for detoxing the liver as well. And along with that, your greens. So, a lot of these recipes that I just talked about, different combinations, would be excellent for your liver. With my liver detox program, which is part of my 30-day detox, that's week 2. I include a carrot salad and a beet salad, a cup of each per day. And it is so easy to do that because you take the pulp out of your pulp catcher. So you juice your beets first, take a handful of pulp out, and you have an olive oil lemon juice dressing for that. And you have a cup of that per day. And then you have a cup of carrot salad. And I take the carrot pulp, juice your carrots alone by themselves, take a handful of carrot pulp out of that pulp catcher and the same dressing, lemon juice and olive oil, and you add that in. And there are a few other things that I recommend people do, like a potassium broth soup each day and a liver detox shake in the morning that has garlic and ginger and citrus juices and olive oil in it. And that's along with some herbs. That's your liver detox week.
Yeah. Well, thank you. And just know this, everybody. I mean, this whole liver thing has gotten out of hand. Also, this whole overweight thing has gotten out of hand. And a lot of this has got to do with inflammation. Well, let's just put
Yeah.
it this way, 99.9% of it has got to do with inflammation. And that inflammation is coming from our diets and what we don't know that's in our diets and what we do know. But the
Yeah.
majority of that is coming from the stress in our lives that we think we're not stressed because everybody runs around being stressed. But, if everybody's doing it, that's okay. But the reality is that this inflammation is coming from, where the mind goes, the body follows. And most people don't know how to mind their business when it comes to their mind. So it becomes a landmine and they think that it's their lifestyle's normal, but it creates most of the inflammation. So you might want to take a look at that, but you really want to add and these tips and these routines and these strategies that Cherie's sharing with you right now.
Oh, they're so helpful. I have heard story after story of huge health improvements when people have done liver cleanses. I've noticed it in my own life as well. It's just amazing what changes. And here's one thing that people don't think about, there is a direct connection between liver and sinuses. And I did a liver cleanse one time and my sinuses cleared. It was like after the cleanse was over, they started just clearing and clearing, and it felt like there was just air, this pure air just going up into my head, up through my sinuses. It felt so wonderful. And my father had said to me when I was a little kid, I never forgot it, oh, sinus problems run in our family, and you will probably always have sinus problems. I thought, no, 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 no. I'm not going to have sinus problems, but I had through a lot of my life. But I'll tell you, when you start liver cleansing, your sinuses clear up. It's amazing.
Absolutely. But just so everybody knows that, sinus problems aren't genetic. So we'll put that one to bed. And the other thing is that you have to understand something. When you start doing this juicing, okay, you're taking the pressure and the inflammation off of the liver. And the problem is if you do not the problem, but the answer is if you do that, you're not going to have to make all these fat cells. So all these fat cells have to be made because your liver is so overworked and so sluggish that it can't deal with it. So it's got to be thrown to fat cells. So get juicing. So here's another
Yeah.
thing. When we look at detox, and we were talking about this already, and emotions, have you ever found a concoction for that, Cherie?
Oh my goodness, yes. So liver, the emotion that's most attached to the liver is anger. And I have found when people start detoxing their livers, oftentimes this anger starts coming out. It's like, whoa, people will say, where did that come from? One lady, though, found it was sadness when she was detoxing. This week of sadness where she just wanted to cry, that could have been connected to anger in some way. But I have found that when people start on a liver detox, oftentimes they will notice emotions coming out, and particularly anger. And at our retreats, we do the juice and raw foods retreats. And we have 3 days of juice fasting, and we have wheatgrass juice as part of that. And people often notice that emotions do bubble up, and anger is one of them. And the liver is releasing, it's releasing anger and other emotions. That's a good thing.
And, she's absolutely right because if you repeat the same negative emotion without processing it, you can actually see inflammation in the brain, in a certain part of the brain that reflects to that emotion. And if that continues, the inflammation can't stay in the brain. So now you're going to get issues in your tissues. So the different juices and juices themselves have such a high vibration that they bring you up because it's all frequency. Everything is frequency. So when you start juicing, it brings up the vibration and the energy level. And if we do that, that means that the lower vibrational emotions must loosen up within the tissues. So now you get rid of those issues in your tissues, like Cherie just said. So you better check it out. Better check
I
all
love.
this juicing thing out. Go ahead, Cherie.
Well, you were talking about the vibration, and you know what's in the juices, biophotons, those energy, I call them units from the sun that the vegetables and fruit absorb as they're growing. And those biophotons feed our cells. The photons are needed to produce energy fuel, ATP. So as we drink the raw juices, that's fueling our cells and bringing our energy up, which is our vibration, bringing all of that up because those light rays, you can see it, they have vibration, they have color. Kirlian photography has photographed raw fruits and vegetables, raw juices, and you see big spikes of energy and beautiful colors coming out from raw. As soon as you cook that food, they go way down to next to nothing.
Beautiful. And you know what? Remember when Cherie was mentioning about ATP? Well, guess what? Juicing creates so much ATP, but here's the reality: a 75-kilogram man needs to make 85 kilograms of ATP a day. And guess why most people are ending up with diseases and their energy levels are so low and even cancer? Is it guess what? That ATP is not being made because what's happening is that the actual mitochondria are becoming calcified because of the calcium that's being pulled from the bones to try to bring down the inflammation, which you'll be guided in Cherie's juicing books on how to bring that inflammation down so you don't have to pull the calcium from the bones that can't get back into the bones, that calcifies the mitochondria, that causes them not to spin to make that ATP. So juicing is something that is so vital, and we really, really need to look at that. So, and talking about chronic fatigue, okay, can you tell our listeners what juicing will do for chronic fatigue?
Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up because that's what I suffered from in my 20s. That's part of my story of healing. What in the world was going on, I thought, when I was 20 something and so tired I wanted to sleep 12 hours a day? And there are people in that category, just so tired, barely dragging yourself through life. Maybe you have chronic fatigue, or maybe you have the syndrome like I did, which is feeling like you have the flu all the time in addition to being tired. But juicing changed my life. So I started off with a 5 day juice fast. I jumped right in. I didn't ease into it. I went for it. And on day number 5, my body expelled a tumor the size of a golf ball with blue blood vessels attached. Looked like they'd been cut. I thought, whoa, what was that? We now know, that it was angiogenesis got stopped, got halted by those phytonutrients in those vegetables that I was juicing. Uh, I did not know what that was for years until I'd gone back to school and did my research. But I thought, wow, my life's going to change after I got rid of this. I won't have fatigue anymore. Not true. My body went through a healing process of some better days and some not so good days as I was detoxing. And it took a while to detox um, all of that junk that I had been eating for years. I loved junk food, fast food, and I was a sugaraholic. Terrible. No wonder I was sick. So one day, though, let me tell you, 3 months into my program of juicing and eating, I was I was all vegan then, and a lot of raw and juicing. I woke up and thought, somebody gave me a new body in the middle of the night. I felt like jogging. My energy was just like full blown, and I called that a cure. Bad thing to do. Cure kind of symbolizes did that, done that, worked, don't have to do that anymore. So I went back to my old ways of eating, and slowly my symptoms started coming back. It scared the daylights out of me. Because once you experience that energy, that life, that sense of well being that people talk about that I never knew, I wondered, what does well being mean? I had no idea. I'd never experienced, couldn't remember experiencing it. I had a sense of well being, energy, felt like doing things, getting things done. My brain was just my brain was functioning well, and I was happy.
There
It
it
does
is
all
right
of that.
there. That's it.
Yeah.
So what you've got to learn is you got to do these loving, gentle baby steps from the minute you
Mhm.
wake until you close your eyes and create the perfect day and then repeat it every day. So let's not do juice fast. Let's not do juice detox. Let's build juicing into our life. And
Yeah.
then when we really want to ramp it up and we want to ramp up the production of ATP and getting rid of old cells and detoxifying right down to the mitochondria level, then we can just do a juice cleanse. And how long could I do a juice cleanse for? Like, let's say, give me three different things, like an older person, middle aged, and then let's say a teenager. And then let's talk about how long could I juice fast for if I was chronically ill, chronically ill, or just feeling like, let's know, juice fasting if I had a life threatening disease, or I was just chronically ill, or I was the average healthy person, whatever the heck that is.
Yeah, what is that? Well, let's start with how many days could you go if you're an older person, and maybe an older person who's not feeling well.
Yeah.
I would start with one day, just one day for an older person, and see how you do.
One day a
And
week, maybe one day a week for a few weeks, just to kind of get our footwork.
yes, ease
Okay.
into it.
Yeah.
And if you're middle aged, but it depends on your health. If you're middle aged and you feel relatively healthy, like you said, what is that? But you're working, and you're not sick, and you haven't been diagnosed with anything. You might start with 2 days. But even if you're middle aged, but you have a condition going on, you might start again, same thing with one day a week, and kind of ease into it and see how you do. And then you can ramp it up to 2 days at some point if you want to. If you're a young person, like I was in my 20s, I was really sick with chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia, but I was in my 20s. I went for it. I did a 5 day juice fast. And so, teenagers, especially late teens and 20s, you can just jump, and probably 30s, just jump on in there if you want to. You could do a 3 to 5 day fast. At our retreats, we do a 3 day juice fast. And we do have people come from around the world with all sorts of conditions, but they're able to travel. They're not invalid. They can travel and they can function. And everybody does the 3 day juice fast together. We have wheatgrass juice twice a day, and then we have our vegetable juices 3 times a day. And I do provide a little dehydrated snack like kale chips. So that helps people kind of get through. It's a bit modified. If you've got a serious illness, like you have cancer, for example, or maybe you have an injury that you're trying to heal, you have something going on that's more serious, I would again start with 1 or 2 days, and then you could increase. Um, do that for a few weeks, see how you do. Maybe then go to 3 days. But some people just say, I want to jump right in. I want to do 3 days a week, and I'm just going to go for it. And a lot of those people have done all right. I have one really wonderful story. I had a young woman who came to our fall retreat last year, all the way from New Zealand. She had a brain tumor, and she got a hold of my book and started juice fasting, doing 3 days at a time before the retreat. And then she even did some water fasting after she'd done the juice fasting. By the time she got to the retreat, she had, listen, catch this, because I'd never heard of this before. She had the sac still in her brain, but it was empty. She'd gone for an MRI. The, the cancer was no longer there, it was just the sac.
Well, maybe
Pretty
she
cool.
juiced it. I'm just kidding. I'm
Juiced it,
kidding.
yeah. The body got to it
Yeah.
somehow through that sac, and ate up that cancer. The immune system did what it was supposed to do.
Isn't that beautiful?
Pretty cool.
So, anyways, I've got one more question here from Lou, and out of New York, and he says, "What?" And this will fit with what we were just talking about. Are there any dangers that we should know about when it comes to juice fasting?
The only danger, the only caution that I have for you is fruit juicing. And people often hear the word juice, and they think fruit juice. And doctors will say, "Oh, you can't juice," especially if you're diabetic or you've got cancer or whatever, you can't juice. And they think it's just fruit juice. So I don't recommend all fruit juice. You can add a little apple or some berries. Berries are the lowest sugar fruit to your juices to flavor it a bit and sweeten it up a little bit. But stick to your vegetable juices. They should be the mainstay, the main thing of your juices. And other than that, I I have been doing this for many years, and 2 million people have gotten my book at least, I know. And then on top of that, other books, and I've not heard one report of a problem, of anything going wrong. Uh, but just make sure you don't get too much fruit sugar, because that is overwhelming to the body. All of that fruit juice, too much sugar coming in.
All right. So let's talk about something that 1 out of 2 people uh, will supposedly have to deal with if they don't break away from the herd, and that is cancer. So, what would
Yeah.
be your suggestions to cancer patients specifically?
I tell everybody, and I've got a program, what to eat and juice when you have cancer. So I tell everybody something that my holistic doctor said to me years ago: if you don't do something different, if you keep doing the same thing, you'll get the same result, right? So you've got to change everything pretty much when it comes to your diet. So juicing, if you want to prevent cancer, first of all, you've got to eat a healthy organic diet, juice, watch what you eat as far as the sugars and the chemicals that you're putting in your body, and do prevention. The juices are wonderful preventative drinks. They've got all those antioxidants in them. I call them Pac-Man, nature's Pac-Man. They go in there and start gobbling up the free radicals, those nasty things that attack our cells and create problems. Also, when you do juice fasting or some kind of cleansing, at least once a year, you're getting rid of toxins. So, anybody with cancer, something contributed to that cancer, and usually it was more than one thing. There's an initiator and there are promoters. So, what initiated it and what promoted it? It's usually different things. We've got to look at all of that and address it. But you're right. 1 out of 2 people, that's unbelievable now that we're in that state, that 1 out of 2 will get cancer. So it behooves everybody to do all we can to prevent it with our juicing. It's a great way to start.
Absolutely. So, what we have to understand is if we're not willing to want to take a look at our personality and make some changes, you're never going to change
Mm.
your reality, like Cherie's saying. So understand, we love you, but there's some beliefs that you have that you're running that are creating this. And look at
Yeah.
one belief that you really need to get is that as soon as you sign up to the laws of nature, you're going to be able to get rid of your prescription drugs, because instead of not dealing with and healing, you'll be healing and you won't have to deal with the pain, because
Mhm.
pain means you're out of alignment.
Yes,
Yes. So,
I love that.
what are you seeing the most with people coming to you and wanting to learn about juicing? What type of what group are coming the most?
You said it. You just said pain.
Yeah.
I get more people coming with pain in various parts of their body than probably anything else. And it can be all sorts of things, from our arthritis or um, elbow and knee and neck and back and you name it. But I've seen great improvements. And that is one of the things that people say early on, wow, my pain is getting better, especially arthritis pain, pain in the joints, hands, knees, just throughout the body. Celery juice is amazing for pain. I had a conversation with the husband of a registered dietitian a few weeks ago, and he said his wife had a patient in her office just the day before who said, wow, I started on this celery juice thing and my pain is lessened. 16 ounces a day of celery juice and her pain has lessened. It's amazing how effective juicing is to lessen and eventually get rid of that pain, because juice is so alkaline and most of our bodies are so acidic, right? And those acids are just so detrimental to our body. But why are we so acidic? It's because our diets are mostly acid producing. Dairy, meat, grains, sugar, oh, so acidic. Coffee is very, very acidic. Alcohol is very, very acidic. Junk food, fast food, on and on I could go. But that's kind of the diet of most people these days. And your alkaline foods are your fruits and vegetables and your nuts and seeds, and some sprouts. We don't focus on those foods nearly enough. But when you start drinking all those beautiful alkaline juices, your acidity level goes down, pain level often goes down correspondingly with that, and you start feeling so much better.
Beautiful. And if I can say this, everyone, understand something. Pain is not the enemy. Pain is your friend. It's a GPS. Pain, inflammation, swelling, all of these things are actually your friend telling you that you're not in alignment and you're off course. If you didn't have these three symptoms, you'd be dead already, because they're telling you that there's something not right. So instead of trying to create a really bad relationship and telling these three things to shut up and shut down, why don't you just lovingly listen and get Cherie's book and find out the symptoms and then make the concoction and get it into you and put the fire out. Right, Cherie?
Oh, absolutely. I have a great story. I love telling stories because it really brings it home. But we had a lady that came to one of our summer retreats with a wheelchair and a walker, drove to Santa Fe, New Mexico with her daughter drove from Chicago, and she was in terrible pain. And by the time she got to the retreat, it was worse because she'd been sitting in the car so much. So she had to have a lot of help with the walker in her wheelchair to get around to our classes. So Thursday comes, right? Thursday is the last day of our juice fast. We start on a Sunday night with our raw food dinner, gourmet raw food dinner. Thursday comes and it's my afternoon class and her daughter and she stay after the class and they start moving chairs back and she's smiling and she doesn't look like she's in pain anymore. And she says, Cherie, I have something to show you. And she gets up and starts charging, walking all around the room. Her pain is all gone. She wheels her own wheelchair into dinner. She never went back to her wheelchair. She was healed, completely healed for days because her arthritis was directly connected to diet and some emotional things. And we had classes on emotional release as well. And the two combined, amazing. We saw a miracle. Someone get right up out of a wheelchair and not have to go back. Pretty
Beautiful.
exciting. Mhm.
So, where can people go to get your books and to get information on the different things that you teach?
So I hope you come visit me at Juice Lady Info. It's INFO, don't forget that, .com, juiceladyinfo.com. And I've got the programs, the retreat information, the books are all there. And again, if you want to look at the book about symptoms, it's the Juice Lady's Guide to Juicing for Health. And it has the 50 different ailments with the juices and the diet and the nutrients that help that. I hope you come visit me. Sign up for my free newsletter. It comes out twice a week, and you'll get a discount code that you can apply to your book order if you want. And I hope that everyone listening is going to be inspired to juice. It's been my mission in life to get everybody juicing. Just come visit me. Again, juiceladyinfo.com.
Beautiful, Cherie. And everybody out there, just so you know, the Juice Lady and myself, the Doc of Detox, will be speaking at the TTAC Live Symposium in Anaheim. I think it's October the 8th. So you won't want to miss it. And they're going to be putting tickets on sale probably in about a few weeks. So if you want to be there live, there's going to be probably around 40 of the top speakers around the world going to be lecturing there on health. And Cherie's going to be there, like I said, and I'll be there. And we'll be there to meet and greet you. So, right, Cherie?
Yes. Oh, it's such a wonderful high energy event. I love it. I wouldn't miss it for anything. And I think tickets are on sale now. I got a couple emails from Ty and Charlene who put this event on, and get in there fast because it always fills up fast,
Yeah,
right?
they sell
A
out.
couple thousand people come from all over the world. It's just amazing, amazing high energy, life giving event.
It truly is. Thank you for joining me today, Cherie. Like always, you give so much and you do such brilliant work. And say hello to that beautiful husband of yours for me, will you?
Thank you. Thank you so much. And you do as well. Thank you for all you do in the world, getting people healthy and pain free. So,
Well, we at least
everybody,
we give them a choice, right? Now we give them a choice.
yes. And
Yes.
having a choice is having hope. That's what I see. I wrote about that in my newsletter today. Hope. Hope. It's an amazing thing.
All right. Well, thank you again for joining me. And
It was a
everybody,
pleasure.
and everyone, just so you know, our personal treatment and trainings are starting up again. So go to itioh.com if you want to come with your spouse, or you want to come with your family, or come with your caretaker, and we'll teach you how to do the Wolfe deep tissue and the non-surgical, so that you can have the most powerful anti-aging body work in the world, and we'll teach you how to master those emotions of yours. So check it out at itioh.com, because we now have openings again. We've been booked for the last few months. Okay. And our certification courses, like the Whole Life Coach certification, Wolfe Deep Tissue certification, and Wolfe Non-Surgical certification, our 21-day course. Okay. It's not just for practitioners. We have from medical doctors, chiropractors, naturopaths, colon therapists, and then those people that never believed that they could ever become a practitioner, but you can. If you don't want to spend tens of thousands of dollars and you want to come, I promise you that in 3 weeks, we will make you the most powerful bodywork therapist around. That's my guarantee to you. We actually have a money back guarantee on this. Okay. And we will be doing our trainings. Okay. in Kelowna, November 2019, Fountain Hills, Arizona, 2020, Australia, 2020, the UK will be in London, 2020, and Michigan in 2020. And when you take our courses, you will be part of our affiliate program. We will build you an affiliate website, and we have ongoing trainings every 2 weeks, okay? So we will support you from the ground up with your business and your practice, because guess what? There's a hidden practitioner in all of us, okay? So God bless, and hope to see you and hear from you on our next Q&A, and make sure that you join us on my Facebook page at Dr. Darrell Wolfe, and we'll keep you updated there. And just know that the power to heal is within inside yourself. So be good to yourself and learn how to create the perfect day every day for the best life ever. God bless. If you're looking for life-saving and life-changing information, well, you've come to the right place. Don't forget to click and subscribe. Stay connected.